Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Cloud 2. While I was letting audio render, I went back into the castle and took a look at the photos, and I think I made a small error when placing some of this stuff. So I need to come into here. We're going to download our geostones because I have to. So Hall of Sorrow, Palace Stairs, Silver Bench. I want to clean up a road, the stairs, and a road. And then we want to place the stairs back. Come on. That's straight. And it's straight as I'm willing to try for. And there. And then road. There. So we need a road on like each end of it, which just looking at it, it like looks a lot nicer that way. So not surprised I didn't notice that I'd screw that up, but the other stuff we should probably make. Hall of Sorrow, for instance. We should make a Hall of Sorrow. Palace Stairs, we'll make our Palace Stairs. Silver Bench, we'll make our Silver Benches. And the silver benches are actually something we can photograph, so I'm going to place them like real quick. Right like here. Come down and snap a photo of it. And then we'll just go back in the place, clean it up, and I didn't actually know what we got from those geostones, so I didn't look at the photos to see what we need for that. So let's take a quick look back in there and see what we can do about those photos. Or the paintings, I guess. I should stop calling them photos. Where are silver benches and our... speaking of silver bench, I should take that off my like side list here. There we go. And we want to look at these paintings. So we need columns on the other side of the flowers. We need river under the stairs with flower arrangements on the sides. We need... okay, the opposite end on the left, it looks like, is where the Hall of Sorrow goes. In the far right corner. Also, there are totally fruits in here. Because we have been completing levels, so I should probably pick these up now they're here. Might as well get, just that little bit better. Maybe we'll stop dying as much to the enemies. I think that's the Hall of Sorrow there that I'm looking at. That right there. It looks like it. I'm hoping those trees are all in the right spot. I'm going to be real upset if... oh, and the palace stairs, okay, they go on the other side. I'm going to be real upset if those trees are a thing I actually have to do. Because that's going to be tough to figure out from these paintings. I'm just going to grab all the ones on the first floor here. There's probably some up on the second floor too. I'm not going to bother going up there for them right now. We're going to go outside and place these before I forget which side they go on. I don't see where the benches go. But that's fine. We can put benches down later. I got the photograph, so... we're going to come over here, and it was this side. We want the palace stairs. Like... somewhere in this general vicinity. And the Hall of Sorrow. Oh, the Hall of Sorrow is not there. No, it's a gazebo that's there. So Hall of Sorrow must go somewhere else, like over here. Well, you know what? It's fine. We can just do it later. Let's go do some more dungeon. We need more parts anyway. It's not gonna look we're gonna unlock anything crazy. So last episode I talked about like why I couldn't control for shit because I started playing like 4 other games. I think it's just the 3. No, Final Fantasy. I'm gonna look briefly for chests up here. I don't see any. There's one right there. As I'm saying, I don't see any. I don't see the benches there. Pick it up, Monica. Come on. I talked about my GPVan experience. Me, Nano, and Kate was cool. Got to play some very good games of Magic. I think my pool was okay. I don't think it was good enough to carry me. I think it was one where you do need a certain level of skill to, you know, make day 2. But 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But I think it could have been done. I definitely could have built the deck better. I fell into the thing I always do, which is just, you know, fuck it, go all in. Which I've done since, like, what, Innistrad, I think? Maybe not quite Innistrad. Maybe it was Ravnica that I started doing it. What I tend to do for basically every limited format, and a lot of times in Standard as well, is just play 5 color good stuff. Because you can't go wrong if every card in your deck is a rare. Especially in limited. And so I looked at my pool, and I had an Ulamog from Battle for Zendikar. I said, well, that's the first card that goes in the deck. The rest of the deck is about making sure I live to turn 10, or play 10 lands, or whatever else I need to do so that I cast Ulamog. I also had a foil Linvala. I said, okay, so I'm at least in white. We're playing that. I looked at how I was going to get to Ulamog, and I had 1 natural connection, the green spell that puts a land into play at instant speed. I had Zendikar Resurgence, 7 mana double green spell that makes all your mana tap for double, and every time you cast a creature you draw a card, so that would not only let me cast Ulamog on turn 8, or turn 7 if I ramp into it, but would let me play anything else to draw into Ulamog. So I'm like, okay, so white-green. I'm looking at my white-green. It's not great. I'm like, okay, my best is definitely my black-red. Like, I should be playing black-red. I'm like, well, if I'm going to be in green to get to Ulamog, white to play Linvala and not lose, because I also had 2 Isolation Spheres, which unfortunately all 3 of those are double white. And also be in black-red because that's where all my good cards are. I guess I might as well put blue in there. And so I was playing 6 color good stuff because I did have things that required waste to activate their activated abilities. And I opened 1 waste and a Crumbling Vestige, which helped my color fixing a little bit. And I never ran into color problems. I basically never do. I've done it so long, I know how to do the mana bases, I know how to, like, set up the curve and everything, and know when to change out colors. I probably shouldn't have been running the blue. I was running it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Skyrider Elf, the X green blue ally that comes into play with +1/+1 counters equal the color spent on him. So he's basically a Skyreach Manta from Old Mirrodin, which was easily like my favorite card in Battle for Zendikar because it was pretty consistently a 5/5 flyer that was also an ally. Okay, this is heart, not diamond. Ah, shoot. You okay? No, you know, sorry. And I was also playing it for, I think, Void Grafter was his name. The 3 mana... I shouldn't have used chicken. The 3 mana blue-green Eldrazi that flashes in. It's a 2/4 for 3, which is a solid body in this format. And it gives another creature hexproof, so it's kind of a counterspell. For a kill spell anyway. But the problem is I could only really squeeze in the one island because I was only playing 2 blue spells and they only needed a small bit of blue. So I could rarely... I actually like cast them every time I saw them. Okay, this is going to be tough here. I need to do this right. I really hope I don't screw this up. I'm going to be real salty and reset. We're going to equip this in place of our cheese. And we didn't throw it. Okay, you got it. Then we're gonna kill him. Okay. Oh shit, it wore off. Ah, damn it. Just kill me now. Okay, now we're gonna die because we need to do this level over again to get the diamond thing. So, fuck. Because that was all our diamonds for the game. Like, I need to die now. So yeah, back to my pool. While I wait for this diamond to kill me. In fact, this guy can probably kill me faster. A little bit. He swings more. I'm sorry, I'm just checking to like see if I can get this diamond to come out of the pot. It doesn't look like it. Almost. Boom, there we go. Okay. Now we can do this over again and actually get the diamond. Which, I'm not going to mess around with the Georama. The diamond will be priority number 1. So I won't have the road fixed with the stairs. I want to made the pieces. That's fine. That's a non-issue. I'll have to fix it anyway. So yeah, I put together a pretty solid deck. I thought I was pretty big on it. I thought it would do well. And all my games were really close except for one where I mulliganed a no land hand on 7. I mulliganed a 1 land hand on 6. And then I mulliganed, so I kept a 5 land hand that had, it had 3 land in it, and, no, it had 2 land in it, and I scooped on turn 5 when I failed to draw a 3rd land without playing anything. I said, nah, I'm not going to show you anything, and I just picked up my cards. And went to game 2, which he nodded, he's like, yeah, no, that seems like a solid play. Because I was like, even if I can come back from it, at this point it's more advantageous for me to just not show him what I'm playing. So that he can't bring in any sort of hate for it. Like, he doesn't know if I have flyers. All he's seen is a plains and a forest. Ah, shoot. I should have been blocking there. So he couldn't really do anything to... Ah, that means I won't have the potato pies and... Or do I? Did I save earlier? I don't remember. Anyway. And he was solid about it. I think the next game I turn 3 Natural Connection, turn 4 the Vigilant Guy that tapped for colorless mana, turn 5 Zendikar Resurgent, turn 6 played Ulamog, and then he scooped before I could even pick my targets for Ulamog's on cast trigger. And then game 3, I think was very, like, we finished, he was playing blue-white control, and we finished in maybe 8 minutes, which was the round I got to go and eat because we actually finished so quickly. Which just goes to show that when, you know, you're playing locally or FNM or something, it's not the people who are playing a grindy control deck that are going to time. They're playing slowly and going to time. if you know how to play a control deck, part of playing a control deck is making sure the game is completely under your control. And it's, oh, I can't switch to max. Well, then let's just break the stupid seal. My seal breakers are where? There they are. And then we'll switch to the ride pod. If you're playing against somebody who's good and playing control and they know what they're doing, your match will not go to time. Unless you are playing slow. More often than not, it's the person who's playing against the control deck that is the one causing the match to go to time. If both players know what they're doing, because I was playing like a mid-range endgamey kind of thing. Okay, let's try this again and not screw it up this time. We'll just immediately kill him. I was trying to like switch to ride pod or something when I was doing it last time. There we go. Monster Transformation card badge. Yes. That's the last badge, I think. There we go. All the badges done. Transform into a club by default, which is a little weird, but... we can talk to Joker here. Hey Joker, what's up? Same when playing cards, right? The Joker is always the outcast. Poor Joker. Alright, let's kill him. And so, yeah, all my matches were really close. Like, the only match I had where I was any sort of screwed at all, it was not an issue of color screw. I had the natural connection on 3 to get the swamp I needed to play everything. Regardless of which third land I drew, I was fine. And none of my lands ETB tapped except for the Crumbling Vestige, which gives me the mana the turn it comes into play tapped, so it doesn't really come into play tapped. So I was completely fine that game, I just needed to see a third land. Like, it was a solid 5, I got screwed. And by the time, you know, I missed 2 land drops, he had a board state of... that I was not going to be coming. He had 2 of the tap guys, and he'd been punching me with a Stormcrow, but the one with Ingest or whatever. Like, it was... I was done. I need to re-equip my cheese so I can eat that. So I knew it was just way more advantageous to scoop. Never made any mistakes. I'm glad to admit I didn't, you know, get deck checked and get in trouble for having dropped a card or left an isolation cell in somebody else's deck, which didn't happen. I did have one opponent, my last round, my round 6 opponent, who played Forest Oath of Nisa on the play. And he picks up and immediately throws down the top 4 cards of his library. And looks very upset with himself. I can't find my stupid... Do I not have it yet? Oh, I haven't picked it up yet. Okay. We're going the other way then. Because Oath of Nisa is look at the top 3, not the top 4. So now he has looking at extra cards. And so needs to get a warning. And so we call the judge over. Judge says, okay, super easy fix. Just pick one at random, shuffle it back in, and then continue going in normal, and you're just going to get a warning. And the judge said, is this your first warning of the day? He's like, no, I might have made a small boo-boo before. He's a French guy from the island. And the judge just gives me this look like, whoa, that's not how you answer that question. Have you or have you not received a warning today? And he's like, yes, I got a warning earlier, but not for this. And he's like, okay, but it was for a game player kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, something like that. And like was being super dodgy about his warning. And I'm like, oh, maybe he already has 2. And he just doesn't want the judge to know that he's supposed to get upgraded to a game loss right now. But I wasn't going to be too picky about it. Afterwards, he asked if he could trade me 30 cigarettes for my Ulamog. I told him I did not smoke, and he said, okay, but I also need to buy you for 30 cigarettes from, and he's like, oh, that's okay, I smoke, so I'll buy 30 cigarettes from you at $1 each. I'm like, then why don't you just give me $30 for the Ulamog? And he says, because we're not allowed to buy cards, which was all kinds of nonsense. Like, but we can trade. I'm like, okay, sure, I will trade you Ulamog for 30 cigarettes, and then I'll sell you 30 cigarettes at $1 each. And he's like, okay, you want to trade for the Stoneforge promo? And I'm like, why are you wasting my time? Yeah, sure, I will trade you for the Stoneforge promo. So that was cool. I got to trade up for a second promo, which I know a lot of people were selling them almost instantly. I'm trying to change the ride pod here, because they're banned in like every format, so like why would you use them? But I'm thinking they might get unbanned in Modern, because I don't think they're that like grossly broken in Modern. And it would spice things up a little bit to have Stoneforge unbanned. They just keep banning cards in Modern. They should probably unban things. Maybe give Ancestral Visions a shot, since it's not good. So I kept mine, but I know there was a guy at our table during registration who, he was very concerned about getting his mat. He kept asking, do they pass out the mat? And I'm like, not yet. No, we're waiting. He's like, oh, where do we get it? I'm like, no, they should pass it out, but you just wait, like, relax, you'll get your mat. And then they passed around the Stoneforge promo and the voucher and said you have to go to registration to get your mat. And he's like, oh. So he takes his voucher, he gets up from the table, and he goes to go get his mat immediately when we are in the middle of doing deck registrations and things. But, of course, things are so disorganized, it's taking forever, so he was fine. And he comes back a little later, and he's like, man, and he's holding the mat. I'm like, you ain't got the mat already? Like, that's why you got up and left? Because I saw him get up, and I'm like, what, is he dropping or what? And he comes back with the mat, and he's like, man, Channel Fireball's buying the promos at like $30 each, cash. And we're like, you got up, got your mat, and sold your promo when you're supposed to be sitting down and doing your deck. Like, you have some problems with your adoration for mats. Like, I could practically give you my mat. I have so many goddamn mats here. I'm looking to my right. I am seeing a mountain of mats beside my model display case. It's freaking like 40 goddamn Magic the Gathering mats from all the different events. I could have just given the guy a mat if he wanted a mat so bad. But, okay, I need one more in Cyclone, because apparently I died before I, fixed everything. Yeah. And, I thought about selling the promo, but I figured I'd hold on it. And he was like, why would you hold on to it? It's not, you can only play it in, like, Commander. I'm like, well, I mean, I know it's in Toby's Cube, so she'll want it. And she's judging, so she's not going to get one. And I know it's not in any of your EDH decks, but it could very well be something anybody around us that plays EDH would want in their EDH deck. And if it gets unbanned in Modern, oh man, is the price going to absolutely spike. So you'll be real salty you sold it when it gets unbanned in Modern. So that was... I bet this is a Mimic. No? I don't know if the Mimic ones move or not. I feel like there's a tell for them, but I could be wrong. There might not be. Oh man, OBS scratch. No, it's good. Okay. Stupid diamond, yeah, baby. Okay. So that was cool. I mean, I'm trying to think if there were any other interesting parts of the night. Any other highlights from my GP Vancouver day? I did see... I played one guy who had... what was his error? He missed his... Smothering Abomination trigger when all he had was Smothering Abomination and Eiley. And I had Oath of Chandra in hand. I'm like, I can only kill one of these, like, basically game-winning bombs. And then he goes to his upkeep, he draws his card, he's like, ah, shoot, I've missed my trigger. And I'm like, okay, and I call a judge. And the judge comes over, I'm like, my opponent just informed me that he missed his trigger, that he drew his card before he sacrificed a creature. And the judge looked at me and he's like, is that true? And I'm like, yes, he did. And I'm telling you that he caught it before I did, because that might influence your ruling. He's okay, so he reads the Smothering Abomination, he looks at the board, he's okay, so it's a detrimental trigger, so you have to do it. And so we're gonna go ahead and do that now, so sack a creature, and he sacks the Abomination. I'm like, okay, good. He got rid of the flyer, so I could just roast the Eily, and then he... Oh, come on, stupid diamond. And then he gets, you know, his warning, and then his Eily attacks. I'm like, yeah, I take 2. I'm not going to throw one of my good guys at your Eily when you clearly have some sort of combat trick for it. And then he played a creature and tapped down, and I said, okay, Oath of Chandra, kill Eily, and boom. I won that game, I think. So it was pretty good. I didn't win, but I think I played well, and I think I could have built the deck a little better, probably. But I didn't. I decided to play what I wanted to play, and I was pleased with the results. Had some pretty bonkers games with Zendikar Resurgent in play, and everybody around me was like, "How you just did 5 color? Like, what's your fixing?" I'm like, I got a natural connection, a Crumbling Vestige. Like, it's enough that if I build it properly, it's not a problem. And everybody was appalled. They hadn't seen somebody who spent the last, like, decade of Magic playing 5 color. I need to get it up there, don't I? Oh, I can get it through there. There we go. So it was a good time. I think I've gone to like every... Oh, shoot. Way past that. Okay. Hello. Let's do it like half with a top spin just in case. Ah, really? Alright. Trying to think here. This looks like it's gonna work. I should probably not do it at full power. But we're good. And I don't have to walk to the chest. Got another medal. Got another level up powder. Holy shit. Is Monica's sword like... It's like halfway. Yeah, I'll hold off on the level up powders. Just keep stacking them. Maybe I can use them just like instantly to upgrade one of Max's weapons. Alright, that's going to be it for today's episode. So thanks for watching and listening to me rant about Magic some more. And I will see you next time.